Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I've literally just got back in from being out, and since I have my face done and I'm looking a little bit smarter than usual, I thought I would do a quick video on the MacBook Pro. Now this video I was actually trying to do over the last few months. So basically, back in January, February, my old laptop, my old MacBook Pro 17-inch, I purchased that around 2010 when I was still working at Apple, and it was literally just slowing down. Obviously we bought a drone in December, so the editing was not happening on that machine. It was just way too slow and clunky. So we basically looked at, oh, my plant is messed up. It's been super stormy and windy here in the UK, or Manchester, since last night, and it looks a bit messy. I'm gonna have to fix it. So basically, yeah, so we upgraded the laptop to the latest MacBook Pro 2017 model with the Touchbar. Now, anytime I have tried to attempt to make a video or a little review on this laptop, something has gone with wrong with the laptop. So if we go back to February, we got the laptop and it was a bit sketchy upon using it the first couple of times. I was having issues with the connection on the motherboard. Well, the connection for this is basically the converter to plug in external devices. So I plugged that in and I was having issues, like I would have to basically hold it in place or push it further in, and I thought this is really not right for a brand new laptop. And then following on from that, I had so many issues with the display. The computer was literally just crashing every few seconds. I had to take it back to where I purchased it from, and I'm not gonna lie, I had to be a little bit nasty. Not a little bit nasty, but I just kept being fobbed off from A to B, back to A and whatnot, and I was just getting really frustrated at the fact that it's a brand new computer and it cost a lot, and we should just not be having this issue with the laptop. Anyway, a few weeks ago, before we went to America, I managed to get it resolved, and they basically swapped it out for a brand new laptop. As it was within 6 months old, I was just like, no, I'm not happy with having a computer or a laptop that is pretty much faulty since the day of purchase. Anyway, so I managed to sort it out, and I've got a brand new laptop, and actually I didn't realise but there's been a switch in the laptop. So Apple obviously released a new MacBook Pros, and they've updated the specs, but actually I got a 200, or was it 100? I think about £100 refund, and they changed it for the new one, to the latest one, and obviously it's a better spec as well. So moving on from that, my laptop is working. Here it is. You'll have to excuse the mess in the background. Basically, my office is in use at the moment, as my sister-in-law is here from New Zealand, so all the stuff's over there. I'm just sort of using it as a guest room at the moment. So I thought I would just go ahead and do it downstairs in the conservatory, as it's pretty much, it's way nearer than upstairs right now. So the 2017 MacBook Pro is obviously with the touch bar. As you guys can see, it's going to be activated in a moment once I've logged in. Now obviously, moving from a 2010 MacBook Pro to a laptop, obviously the most latest sort of updated one, it has been absolutely amazing. Obviously we can shoot the 2.7K video on this that the drone offers. The drone is actually in for repairs now too. Now, one of the things that I really love about the display is just how super sharp it is. And again, for anyone that has got a sort of more recent model, maybe you won't see the difference, but certainly coming from an older one, I loved it. I absolutely love the speed of the MacBook Pro. Now, obviously the MacBook Pro, there's been a bit of a dispute in terms of pricing. Apple have really increased their prices quite a bit, and in terms of what you're getting, the reason that I am using a MacBook Pro, it is just way better for me to use it for photo editing and video editing. It's just so much quicker than any sort of Windows laptops I've had in the past, and there's always been that Windows versus Apple sort of controversy, you know, like arguments or whatever, but at the end of the day, it does what I need it to do, and it syncs really well with all the other sort of products that I've got from Apple. And so I love my MacBook. I will never, you know, as far as I can sort of avoid it, I will just stick to Apple now. I've been using it for over 10 years and I have no plans to go back to Windows, in all honesty. And with the touch bar now, when I actually first read about the touch bar, I was sort of like, I don't know if it's even worth, you know, like what is it? Is it like a gimmick? Like how am I even gonna, you know, like sort of benefit from having a touch bar? Now, let me tell you, certainly for video editing, I absolutely love the little shortcuts that you've got on there. As you guys can see, I've just switched it on, it's activated. So I'm not sure if you see the options there, but you've got, these are like your main sort of normal options. Now if we go into Final Cut, for instance, I'm just trying to do both things at once. Just load in. I'm just going to knock up the bright, that's on the brightness. The sun's glaring, you see, so that's one thing that I do miss, is having an anti-glare screen. Let me just, okay, so I don't have any video on here right now as I work from external hard drives. However, you'll see these options like import, new event, new project, obviously the volume and all that. Now, personally, when I'm using it, I love when you're editing clips that you can just hit one button instead of having to go like command right click, option right, whatever. And just hitting one button and it's good to go. Obviously, you've still got the trackpad on the laptop, but it's got different functionality. So I personally love having the touch bar on it. The other thing that I really love is that obviously for social media, now things for Twitter and the blog, things like that. In the past, when I was blogging, I'm not gonna lie, I do use emojis on emails and social media. So now, when you hit the function, obviously the combination keys, you've got your drop down of the emojis for social media. So social media is an everyday thing, and it is very much integrated into most people's lives, I feel like. So I definitely love that functionality on it. Touch bar is wicked for that, and I love how the emojis come up. Like, I just, whatever. The only so people had been complaining about the fact that there's no MagSafe adapter. So where your main charger plugs in, it's no longer a MagSafe, it's just sort of like a standard connection. Now, I found on a couple of occasions where I've accidentally tripped over the cable, it does actually come apart really quickly. So I've not had any accidents just yet with the laptop coming away from it. So I feel like there's quite a weak argument. In terms of the performance, again, I can't really fault it. I do use it for 2.7K editing, 4K editing for the GoPro. I have switched my vlogging camera to the GoPro now because I just want more detail now. I don't want to be using the Canon Legria. It's an older version and it was just giving me 1080. I wasn't very happy with the quality, so I full on switched to the GoPro. The only annoying thing is obviously there's no flip screen, so maybe I'll upgrade in the future, who knows. See how the YouTubing goes. Now, in terms of software, again, Lightroom is just way quicker for me when I'm editing. Again, that just comes down to the hardware of the laptop though. Now, people have obviously been complaining about the whole switch with the connectivity. So I did have to go ahead and buy some of these off Amazon. Which is just a connector. You plug that bit into the laptop, to your MacBook Pro, and this is your USB converter, as I do have, like, you know, card readers which are still on USB, and there were gifts and things like that, so I don't really want to scrap it just yet. But it's inevitable anytime, you know, a connection changes or just technology changes, there's always going to be sort of teething problems and growth, and people are always going to moan. It's just the same cycle. No issues with it, just buy yourself some, you know, bits. One thing that I find really irritating, obviously my machine was about 6-7 years old, but it had like the card reader on there. I think one of the things that I really think Apple should have left in was the card readers. MacBook Pros, I mean, obviously they've changed from business users to consumer, you know, the products are consumer products now. It's not necessarily just for like a niche market, so they've made changes for that. But I do think that is one of the things that I do, you know, really miss, because I do have to have, I mean, there's 4 ports on the MacBook Pro now. Yeah, 4 ports. So in that sense, you know, there's enough ports, but I just hate having so many peripherals and, you know, just cables and things everywhere. So it is what it is though. In general, I have been really happy with the MacBook Pro. I really love how it looks. I love the space grey on it. I love like the keys, the aesthetic of it. And like, I personally, is it worth the money? I mean, I'm just gonna log on to apple.com UK right now just to see how much this one is, because actually I don't know if there's been more changes. So if we look, MacBook Pro, click on that. Basically they start around about 17. I don't know what happened there, GoPro decided to switch off. So basically they now start from £1,899 with 15-inch MacBook Pro, so it's close to £2,000. Is it worth it? In my opinion, if you're looking for a computer or a laptop that is going to last you anything between, I don't know, at least a minimum of like 5 to 10 years, I would say definitely invest in it. And obviously you've got the whole Apple Care thing, so you can do, you know, you get the aftercare support and all that type of thing. I love my MacBook Pro. I would definitely recommend it. That's my point of view though, and it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to do like a short video on this because it's one of the things that I've wanted to do for a while. I also bought like this red case for it, which is pretty neat. I got it off Amazon, I believe, or was it eBay? One or the other, but it's just like a clip-on case because I don't like to get my items or products sort of scratched up. But yeah, if you guys have got any questions, obviously just leave a message down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are keen on more photography sort of videos, travel videos, and just technology related stuff really. And yeah, I will be back soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this and found it useful to a certain extent, and I'll be back soon. Bye.